My name is Zach Griffith. I am obsessed with hunting big game on their turf and their terms. When I need motivation to push myself, there's certain guys that I feel raise the bar. You're about to meet each of them. These are my hit list.
Hey, hey, mama said the way you move gonna make you sweat, gonna make you groove.
Next up on the hit list is a guy that's been requested again and again. He goes by Old Man Grizz, and he taught me almost everything I know about hunting. From a very young age, I remember my dad instilling in me a love and a passion for the outdoors and especially mule deer. Before I could even go on hunts with him, I would literally sit by the front window watching and waiting for his truck to pull around the corner and looking to see if there was a big buck in the back or just an empty tarp. My dad was one of the most legit backcountry hunters way back in the day before there was any fancy packs or gear or boots or even long-range rifles. He hunted some legendary ground during some epic times, and he has a ton of awesome stories. My dad's hunted his whole life and connected on an absolute giant in 2013. It's a deer he earned and a deer he appreciates. Anyone that's met my dad knows the guy cares about others and literally lives to hunt. He gets giddy just being a part of it. Let's go check out his house and see if we can get him talking. Here we are, ladies and gentlemen. Casa de Grizz, Old Man Grizz.
It's starting to snow.
Starting to snow, we need to get in there.
Yeah, because I'm freezing.
He doesn't know we're hit listing him, so it's pretty funny. Luckily we got a key. Just go in.
Oh, it's locked.
I doubt it. Oh.
Hey,
What's up, Grizz?
Just walk in.
Hey, man.
How you doing, bud?
This is my dad, Old Man Grizz.
You wondering why we're filming you?
Watching westerns in a cave, it sounds like. We're putting you on a hit list video, Dad.
Oh,
you've been requested by the masses, and I'm a chump for not putting you on sooner. You got so many funny stories. What are you watching? Oh, hunting TV. That's cool.
Yeah, heck yeah.
Okay, so
Surviving on salmon.
I know you have time because Mom already told us you do, but we're gonna go do a tour of your cave. Here's a sneak peek at the big dog, but we're gonna address that later. So show us the man cave.
Let's go.
Let's go on a tour, and then let's hopefully you cleaned it up.
Save the best for
It's my
last.
reloading room.
Is Rocky, are you chilling or are you coming?
I'll come help.
I used to live in this basement for a couple months.
This is where I go when I want to get away from things,
Yeah.
which is most of the time.
Got Rockadelic.
Did you show him our bedroom?
No.
Don't show them that.
Whoa, look at this spotless man cave.
Yeah?
Where's all your trash?
That's in the other room, actually. Go in the other room.
This is how we clean our house.
Zach, your mom is gonna kill you if you put that on
That's
the
how
video.
Old Man Grizz. This is how we clean.
Zach.
Take it out of one room and just throw it into the gym. Awesome, man.
Sorry, Pat.
You are in so much trouble.
Okay, guys. This is where all the chaos and madness starts.
Yeah. This is my multi-use reloading bench, arrow making, fly tying, carburetor fixing unit.
Homemade desk to mention. That's just my dad. He'll build everything. Builds a desk out of plywood. Probably cost him more than an IKEA desk.
Homemade tags.
Yep.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I got my...
Every Christmas, birthday, we always get some custom bullets.
No, look what they say on him. He's got a...
Old Man Grizz custom death pills.
And then he writes out some cheesy, ridiculous jokes and the calibers and speeds and all that stuff.
They're all speed of light.
So, Dad, break it down. Like, what got you reloading?
Reloading. Oh, geez. Cost. Heavens. When I started shooting, a lot.
Especially big guns.
Yeah. I mean, I shot a 300 mag. How in the heck do you go off and spend $60 a box or $50 a box for shells?
Especially to shoot at rocks.
Go shoot at rocks. No, actually, what really started me is when I started shooting rabbits.
Oh, right on.
Because I'd shoot the 25-06 and shoot 500 rounds.
This is going to be really hard, you guys, because I know every damn story and every reason. So I might fake not a lot, but you guys need to hear this because it's actually
I
badass.
haven't heard a lot of the stories.
Oh, yeah.
So
We need to meet.
I used to go rabbit hunting with my dad. I would pack my 22 or a pellet gun, and he would have a 25-06 with a loophole 3x9 gold ring. I remember.
Oh yeah,
dude. These cats,
jackrabbits
would get out to 100, 150, 250, 300, and he just smoke them with a deer rifle. And I remember that's how we hunted jackrabbits with big guns.
It actually got to where it wasn't fun.
No, they just kill
You just kill them.
Would you kill like a 50 a day? Or?
Oh, easy. I've shot 500-600 rounds at jackrabbits with my 25-06.
Burn your barrel out.
So obviously it gets kind of expensive.
You even reload some shot shells.
Oh yeah, that's my 28 gauge, and they're hard to find, so I kind of stockpile those. But yeah, that's what started me reloading originally, was the cost. And then later on I learned that you could actually improve your accuracy by quite a bit.
Got a Sierra manual.
Oh, I've got a bunch of manuals, but this is like the Bible around here.
Yeah.
Is the reloading manuals. And most people have food storage, you know. This is my idea of security and food storage. I've got lots of bullets. And in fact, I tell the neighbors that I don't need full food storage because I've got enough ammunition, and if they ever need a crisis or something like that happens, I'm just going to come and steal all their food from them.
Well, we don't have food storage either, so we'll just make our way this way.
So but my idea is if I've got 4 or 5 cans of powder, 4 or 5 pounds of powder, and lots of bullets, lots of brass, heavens, if the zombie apocalypse hits, I'm prepared. So
where's your new gun you built?
Oh,
is it hidden?
Yeah, it's hidden.
We'll just wait here and get it. Go get out of the safe and come back.
All right.
You want to look in the closet at all, or?
Yeah, I will while he's getting his gun out of the safe.
No, go get in my closets. I didn't clean everything else out. This is my.
Oh, there's a stick.
Camo for days.
There's my new setup for my 300 mag, and this is my second 300 mag actually. But I actually bought this for my elk hunt last year, and like typical, I didn't find that big bull, so I didn't shoot anything. But it's all set up. We got this scope from Muley Crazy Guys.
We're gonna upgrade that with the new
yeah.
loophole.
Yeah.
It's a great scope though, for sure.
Yeah, it's a great scope, and I'm down with any changes. My 25-06 can use it.
Look at this big ass muzzle brake you put on there.
Yeah, isn't that cool?
It's a bolt on. It doesn't have to be actually threaded in.
Yeah, I can remove it. So if I decide I'm sick of it, I'll
works
remove it.
really well too.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
It's damn big though.
Yeah, whip machine.
So you got a Winchester.
300 mag. It's the Model 70 Extreme Weather.
So
hard,
light.
very light.
Without
And
the brake, kicked like a mother.
It kicks. So,
Picatinny rail on it, big beefy, pretty good rings. Same ones I recommended, right?
Yeah.
And then did you do a Timney trigger?
Oh yeah, it's Timney trigger.
That new Timney trigger.
All my guns now have Timneys on them, so.
He put his own trigger on it.
Yeah, it's set just a little over a pound. And it does. It's shooting at 300 yards. I'm shooting under 2 inches consistently.
Legit.
Yeah.
Yeah, my dad's a humble pie, man. He's a simplistic guy. He doesn't like throw down. He doesn't have like a selfie stick or anything like me. But this was cool to see him finally break down and build a really cool gun because it's a bad mofo and it's light.
Yeah.
It's exactly what he needs.
Yeah. So that's my new one.
ELDXs.
Those are my custom death pills.
If you ever shoot them.
I never shoot
These will
them,
be in there till like 2020.
They're rock
2030.
killers. I'll tell you that. They're rock killers. Man, they just slam on.
Is that the 200 grain?
200 grain. ELDX. Yeah.
What's your feet per second and all that?
We're shooting right around 3,000.
Nice.
And
so our turrets are probably pretty similar. Yeah. Mine's a little slower, but
yeah. Well, when you punched it out for me, that's what we did. It might be a little over. I've never chronoed the loads. I'm not that sophisticated.
It's really cool.
I pretty much go off the stock.
So the gun is stock all the way up at the trigger, scope, and obviously the brake, right? Yeah, that's a badass rig.
Yeah.
Cool. Show them your bow real quick.
A bow. This is my White Defiant. And
all black?
All black, yeah. Let's see. All black, and it shoots laser beams. It shoots better than I can.
It'll never kill a deer because there's not a deer on Earth big enough.
Well,
because every deer is too small. Oh, you could have that one. I don't know.
You put me in front of it.
We're okay with that though. Yeah. Just keep finding the big bucks, and we'll keep taking them down.
Well, you'll know why when you're upstairs. I'm kind of spoiled, but yeah, this is an awesome bow. I've shot hand-me-downs forever, and Zach hooked me up with this thing last year for Father's Day, and it's awesome.
Oh, grateful to Hoyt, man.
Yeah, Hoyt hooked me up, and again, being my cheapskate self, I make my own arrows. My wife, tomorrow is the Academy Awards. My wife will be upstairs watching that faithfully, and I'll be down here either building arrows or reloading.
Nice.
So that works out.
That's
great.
how we roll around here.
That's how we roll.
It's funny seeing these carbon blades because I always painted mine, so I've never actually
You ever
seen
seen
them
an
there.
actual one?
No, they're badass. We painted ours on the snow bow the day we got them.
Yeah.
They're cool. I did blades on my new bow, so. All right, so
It makes it heavy.
okay, I'm gonna direct the audience around the room because these are deer that I've looked at probably more than him. Because when I was little, like any little kid, my dad's stuff was the biggest, baddest, most epic. So the first thing is this
Oh, let me get out of the way.
hilarious antelope, like the mount, everything about it. I stared at that for hours. Tell us a little bit about the buck, Dad.
Oh, that's South Dakota. The first time I really went out of state. 585 yards. First time I really pulled off a long shot.
With holdover.
With holdover, 2 feet.
2 foot over his
2
back.
foot over his back, and it absolutely smoked him.
OG gangster style.
That pheasant, there's a story behind that. I took Zach out. He was 5 years old, and we were out walking around, and he...
Okay, good.
Okay, so there's a story behind that pheasant. It's actually kind of funny. Zach was 5 years old, wanted to go pheasant hunting. Took him out, and he promptly sat on a cactus. I spent the next 3 hours pulling cactuses out of his cactus thorns.
Well, I
Way to go, Zach.
I stepped on a cactus, and they were in my foot, so I sat down to pull them out and sat on another one. So I had 2 cactuses.
Yeah, it sounds like
was
you.
over on the east side of Utah Lake, right?
That was actually down south. Yeah,
Oh,
generally Utah County.
Yeah.
But anyway, that was the extent of that hunt.
Okay, so this was my dad's biggest buck.
Start with that one.
Oh yeah, for sure. I forgot about that.
This is what that one got me hooked on big deer.
So this is a high country muley that my dad killed, and you can tell us all about it, man.
Well, it was 1984, 83, I think. And I've actually had my wife with me. We went back into some real steep, nasty backcountry. I spotted him, shot him, got him down, and realized what I'd done, and he was stinking huge.
Yeah,
And back in those
huge
days,
body.
we didn't know about packing stuff out. If you didn't have a horse, you drug it. So I spent the next 12 hours dragging that thing.
By yourself.
By myself. At one point, he actually had a kicker over on this horn here that went out about that far, and I had a 100-foot rope, and I lowered him down over a cliff, and it wasn't long enough, and I couldn't pull him back up. So I let it go.
You just dropped
So I
it.
dropped him. Got about, drug him till for the first 8 hours, absolutely exhausted, ran out of water. Went down to camp, told the guys that had left the deer, told the guys at camp that I couldn't go anymore, and they talked me into going back up. So we ate a little bit, went back up and pulled him down. So that was my first really...
This is before Gatorade.
Oh yeah, we didn't take water.
Cliff
I
Bars.
mean, I had,
And they drug them, and it's.
We drug them.
If I could just show you guys where this.
So how old are you?
And then,
Yeah. This was in the 80s, so you were like 26.
I was 30 when I did that.
30 years
30 years old.
Skinny as hell.
No, I wasn't. I'd have been a little less than that.
Yeah, 27.
No, that was the deer on that, the body on that buck was just.
Yeah, this is a
it was
replacement
huge. Yeah, the
cape.
cape's.
I'll post the pictures. The deer's a butterball, and it's an October buck.
It
really fat for the
had
time
4 inches of fat on it.
Yeah, it was
huge.
Its neck is swollen up.
And I've got a whole. Honestly, since that time, I've killed half a dozen bucks in that class. The buck over here on the left,
The Bookcliff's buck.
Buckcliff's buck, and he was actually my highest scoring buck for quite a long time. He was in the mid 180s. He was just a great buck, and I actually got that on a dedicated hunter tag. So
Yeah, that's right. You
I
turned
in
back
my
your
tag
dedicated and
actually,
drew it on a
yeah.
fluke.
I've been a dedicated hunter since it opened, so I'm a big fan of that. But he's got great beams, and he was in the mid 180s. Another big buck. Had both my boys there when we shot.
Yeah, Nick and I were in college, and we were with my dad, and we were just stoked up about this Bookcliff's tag that he pulled. And the funny thing is opening morning, we're those hothead 20-year-olds, and my dad, we're relying on my dad to wake up and take care of things. Well, opening morning of the Bookcliffs, we slept in, and it was like
Snowing and cold.
it was like 8 in the morning though.
I know.
We woke up and my brother and I flipped out, like went crazy. Like you're so stupid. You screwed this tag up. You're done. It was just a nightmare. And literally the very first day we're driving late, we went out and cruised roads, and the Bookcliffs is kind of a migration hunt. And I remember we come around a corner and there is a 200-inch
Typical.
mainframe type
Yeah,
deer,
typical. Just use
bedded
it.
in the 2-track, like
Yeah.
in the 2-track. He just was wandering through and just was stupid, and he got off and looked at us, and he's 15 yards from me at first. You were in front.
I was in front. I saw him and I rolled by.
Rolled on the cruised
I
by him,
rolled
and that's
by
why
'cause
Nick
was
and I
afraid he
ran
was
him
gonna
over.
Get up. Yeah.
So he jumps off his bike, and Nick and I were hotheads, and we're just thinking, put a single in there and just bust his ass. My dad just starts taking off his gloves real casually. The buck's just kind of walking. He loads them down in the mag. Instead of just jacking one in and pumping the buck, he loads his four rounds into the mag.
I wasn't ready.
We were all frazzled, freaking out. Finally, my dad takes a shot as the buck's just kind of trotting and just airballs at like 80, 100 yards.
Yeah.
We never saw him again, but I mean,
He was a stud.
it might be one of the best scoring typicals I've ever seen in my life.
He had it all. He was that buck plus 20 inches.
With mass and big ass eye guards,
Big eye guards,
super
huge,
heavy.
heavy, yeah.
His beams were just silly. I mean, they had to be in the mid high 20s. But then we killed this buck 2 days later, same kind of thing.
Yep.
Cruising down a road to get to a different canyon to hike. We look up, there's a doe, and he glasses, and there's this 28-inch 4-point
Yeah.
right behind her. So he shot that buck 50 yards off of a road. The
Yeah.
book cliff is crazy. It's not what we're used to hunting. In fact,
No, it's-
we got all our experiences
It's
after hiking.
Yeah, it's a definitely a country club hunt. It's just
It can be. I mean, you hear about stuff, but we've had the experience. It was just crazy.
You
So
cover a lot of ground and do a lot of glassing. That buck's my boy's. He killed that in the buck cliffs. And this buck over here was a muzzleloader buck. But the unique thing about this buck, can you zoom in on his face? Mm-hmm. After we got him down, go over on the left side. This buck, after we got him down, the taxidermist called me up, and it was my son's buck, and it was his best buck at that point. He said, "Do you really want to use this cape?" He said, "This thing is the ugliest cape I've ever seen." And I said, "Heavens, yes." And if you look at him, this has got this is a lion that had him. The lion grabbed his face like that and broke his jaw. But look at all the gashes and scars.
in his neck too.
All over his neck, yeah, they're down his neck too. So he was a survivor. And unfortunately, the place that we hunt, we spend most of our time, kind of a place I grew up, there's a lot of cats. And they do wreak havoc with our deer population. Most of the places that we go, that we hunt regularly, you'll see a cat kill almost every time you go.
Yeah, pretty much.
Fresh cat kill. So, it could use a little more predator control than what it's getting right now.
So one of the things you guys will love to hear, especially Utah boys, is my dad used to hunt the Wasatch Mountains. He went to Brighton High School, so he lived right on the bench.
Oh, yeah.
But he's hunted the Wasatch Mountains, every single canyon. He talks to Sean Morgan for hours because they hunt a lot of the same country, but he used to hunt it with a gun. And some of the stuff that I remember was they would day trip it every day.
Oh, everything was day trip.
They start hiking at 2 or 3 in the morning.
Yeah, earlier.
With a canteen, an apple.
Sometimes.
What would you take? What was the day like?
Typically an apple, maybe water, maybe
No
not.
pack?
No pack, fanny pack. No
Of course,
glasses.
you wear a
No
fanny
glasses.
pack.
You had a scope.
No binos, yeah,
No
just the
binos.
rifle scope.
And we would go, miles and miles, and then
From
come back.
5,000 up to
Yep, all the way up to the top, and then come back the next day and do it again. And do it every day.
They go home every day.
every night, sleep for 3 or 4 hours, and go back up.
And they wear jeans with gaiters.
Oh, yeah. My boots were always the Army GI boots.
Cheap ass.
Yeah, my blisters was just normal.
Oh my gosh.
And again, when we shot a buck up in there, it was drag the thing down.
Yeah, they drug them.
We didn't know anything about
Quartering.
quartering things out. No, I didn't even. If you weren't on a horse, you had to drag it.
So a lot of us Wasatch front nuts, we've always said, what would it be like to hunt this with a rifle? So give us what's the best buck you've seen, and give us some horror stories maybe.
There was probably the best story is the when we found that body.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Because we'd found a really good buck. Kenny Harwood, a good friend of mine, and I had been up there scouting, found a really good buck about a month before. And so we were that was the buck we were after. And he was, looking back on him now, I'd put him over 200 for sure. Big double dropper buck that we watched rub. Just a nice buck. So we went back in there to get him. That's probably the best buck I've seen up there personally. Though I have seen, during summer, we used to see some stompers. But again, we were just, that's
No
pretty
glass.
cool. No glasses, no film, nothing like that.
Right.
We would spot a deer and watch it from, heavens, if it was I don't think we'd even know if it was a 2-point.
Yeah,
Because you can't
Tell them your
tell.
2-point story real fast.
Well, I thought 2 points were goofy. I thought there was something wrong with them because we didn't see them. You couldn't see 2 points through open sights if they were 300.
Yeah, it wasn't a
away.
buck unless it was
wasn't
like
buck, so
26 inches.
I
You
thought
couldn't
there
put
was some
horn
kind
on
of
it.
an anomaly
Yeah.
when somebody killed a 2 point. So it was,
So then, because a 2 point's a doe with your bare eyes,
Yeah.
you can't put horns on a 2
Yeah.
point unless he's like 80
so,
yards
but
or
you know,
less.
that was the crazy thing. But that was the day.
Oh, yeah.
You go into places like Zinnick's and Wolf's during the hunt, and I'd love to go there and watch them when they score these bucks that come in. And the Wasatch produced just tons of.
They used to do contests.
They have contests.
The 60s and 70s were literally the biggest buck got like money.
Got a Jeep.
Cash,
Yeah, they
cash
give 'em a
prizes.
Jeep.
It's totally illegal now, but that would be so
Oh yeah,
badass.
you'd walk into there. I mean, that's
There was a line, right? Was
Oh,
there a
absolutely.
line that guys standing
and you'd
the
walk
street?
in there, and I remember seeing a buck, and the guy said where he killed it, and I'm, how do you say that? He told me again. And now I realize he said Ponsagant.
Oh,
It was when the Ponsagant first became
Yeah, it
a
wasn't
limited
famous.
entry. Yeah, and it was probably like a 200-inch typical, and I'd never seen a buck like that in my life. Just perfect.
I heard there's some Zinnick stories where guys would be in line like waiting to get their buck scored, and some guy would pull up with like a 260,
Yeah.
and everyone would just leave.
Yeah.
Son of a bitch, you know.
But
just
yeah.
let their stuff down.
But those
Different
in those
era.
days you would see. I mean, you'd see 200-inch bucks all the time.
All the
on
time.
front, yeah. And there was always somebody driving down the canyon with some monster.
But this is something that's funny that a lot of front guys will wonder. They hunted the same stuff. There were big bucks. In fact, I think there were bigger bucks then. But they didn't have the glass.
No, we didn't have the glass.
Big bucks.
And you know, you mentioned, you know, Sean earlier. You guys, the guys that hunt in the front now,
Bows.
they're better hunters.
Oh.
I mean, they're better equipment. They're in better shape. They do it right. They spend all summer glassing and patterning and know about the deer that are
And
there.
you said summer, they're killing them in velvet usually, which is,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
never even. That
Oh
was
no,
not
well
even
no,
an
that was
option.
well. And during the bow season, I mean, our bows were recurves and 20, 30 yards.
I
max.
bet you there wasn't a freaking person up there in the 60s.
There wasn't a lot of people up there,
Even with a rifle.
No.
You could drive Jeeps.
Well, that was the other thing I was going to tell you. There are a lot of places you could drive. In fact, most of the roads, and I won't mention names, but most of the popular areas today on the front have roads in them, and they're old mining roads, and I've driven up every one of them in a Jeep.
To the tops
To the
of
top.
those basins, which
Yeah, so-
messes up the hunting a little bit.
But back in the 60s, you could do that.
Yeah.
It was
Shoot
legal.
right off the road.
Yeah, we used to drive Jeeps. All the common areas that people hike in now, most of those trails are originally mining roads.
Sure.
And we drove them all. So that's a little different too. But what I was going to say is the people today, you're in better shape, you're more dedicated, your equipment's better, you're better hunters, and you talk about the front being gone or maybe not what it used to be. It's true, but I really think that there's the opportunity to kill some slugs out there, and I still think there's a few of them.
Yeah, they
around.
do.
And some of the good hunters prove it. They do it every year.
Year after year.
Year after year after
Killing
year.
unicorns that no one sees.
Exactly. So
It's a haunting area, you know, like this might not resonate with a lot of people that don't live in Utah or haven't seen it, but it's just basically the mountains just east of Salt Lake where Brighton Ski Resort, Solitude, Snowbird, Alta, Park City, Deer
Oh, yeah,
Valley. It's just called the Wasatch Mountains or the Wasatch Front because it's just
It's-
4,500 feet to 11,000 feet in about a mile. And
Yep.
it's just straight up. It's the equalizer. And these guys were doing it back before it was cool.
oh yeah, we
Tell them about, so you're 15, 20 minutes from Salt Lake where you parked. We'll tell them about the time where you were up on top of gobblers, and this is a crazy
This is
story.
going back to that same story. Kenny Harwood and I had found this great buck. So we went
What year was it?
83, I think, 83, 84, something. I think it was 83.
So I was just a baby.
You were just teeny. And there was a part of this story that you kind of took to heart too. But anyway, we went the week before the hunt. It snowed and it snowed and it snowed, and we were kicking it back and forth whether or not we wanted to go into there again. And this is, like you said, Gobbler's Knob. There's various ways to get into there. People go different ways. Our way was up through the snow. So we finally decided, well, okay, you know, the weather broke a little bit on Friday, and we decided that we were going to go ahead and go in. So we went in, and we started walking about midnight, and we were walking up through the north side of where that is.
Which
We-
is, just so it doesn't matter now, it's Alexander Basin.
Yeah, Alexander
Anyone
Basin.
that's been up there, everyone hikes gobblers from the big Cottonwood side
Yeah,
up
we
to
went up
Butler, which is
Alexander.
an easy ass trail. You can ride a bike.
Yeah.
Going up Alexander Basin is on a north slope,
in 5 feet of snow.
and the snow is insane.
We
it's
were
crazy
literally
hard.
making handholds.
I've never taken Rocky up there. That's the most. That's a horrible hike.
It was crazy. I mean, it was crazy.
It's like 6 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
So we break the ridge at daylight, and
So you timed it good.
Timed it perfectly. And when we broke the ridge, I guess there'd been just enough sun on the 2 days after it broke that it had completely melted off on that top. So we're coming down, walking over towards basically down Gobbler's Knob. Kenny Harwood and I are probably 50 feet apart. And Kenny just drops down and he waves to me to get over here. He found a body. And the first thing I thought is somebody poached that buck. I thought he meant the body of a deer.
Yeah.
So we run up on it, and sure enough, there's some skeleton legs and leg bones into a pair of boots. Of course, my first thought is it's somebody's playing a joke, and they've just done something.
Yeah, 'cause it's just two white bones sticking out of boots.
So we started moving things around, and all of a sudden there's a gun, and it's a pre-64 Winchester, and I'm a Winchester fan. I always am. No, it's 300 H&H mag.
Oof.
And there's one in the barrel, so I didn't want to touch it too much. Pretty rusted. But as we moved through, again, I still hadn't sunk in that I was looking at a
human body.
But as we moved things around, yeah, sure enough, there was the rest of it there, and it was a person. Well, the story is the person had he'd basically gone in up through the Dog Lake Trail and come back.
The normal way.
Yeah, and got caught in just a freak storm and froze to death. Now, he had been missing for 27 years when they found him. I did have a couple of chances to talk to his dad, and his dad had been right there many times.
Looking for him.
But I guess what
they found his car. They knew which base he went into. It just disappeared.
And it's one of those things, too, where I think what happened is, well, normal years, there would be brush chest high in there. And there certainly was the time 2 weeks before when Candy and I were up there. And so the snow, I think, just smashed it all down. And it exposed it. And it was just kind of a freak thing. It might have stayed there forever had that not happened. But they were able to identify the guy. He was just 19 when it happened.
19-year-old kid.
19 years old. He'd been missing for 27 years.
What was his name?
Donald Alfred Pack.
Pack.
Yeah. And so it was closure to a really sad episode for them. But the thing that really impressed me, I guess, in a way, was here we are on top of it. If you've been on Gobbler's Knob, you know what it is. You've got Big Cottonwood Canyon, the road down below, and you got Mill Creek Canyon down this side, and you got the Salt Lake Valley, and you think you could just get out, but it shows you it's kind of humbling because this person got caught there.
He was 19. He wasn't a little.
He booked it up there after school.
He wasn't an old man. He was a kid. He was burning around all day.
And there he was. He got trapped there, and the elements took him. That's how it all played out. So it was
pretty crazy. You guys were on the news. And
oh yeah.
I've got the newspaper articles I'll show you, but my dad found a dead body when I was 2, and so I became
he was
obsessed with skeletons.
This guy became obsessed with skeletons, and so that was another story.
I'd walk around and threaten people and say, I'm going to turn you into a skeleton.
He did. He told his mom a couple of times.
Yeah, tell my mom.
He was going to turn her into a skeleton.
Okay, so
that bull.
This is absolutely hilarious.
Yeah.
I'm not knocking this because my dad knows I've teased him for years, but tell them about this bull and how it all went down and what level of
Oh well, okay.
Chaos
So this is back in the days when elk were kind of new
in Utah.
And I wasn't aware of any. I mean, anybody that killed a 6-point was a monster. Was unheard of.
6.
That was That was a limited.
Oh, that's what they call that.
It counts. You're damn right. That's the main beam. That's a point.
Yeah,
that's a G5 right there.
Yeah, that bull was limited entry, and well, heavens, it was one of those deals where it just played out right. Went in the night before, bugled him. He responded. We put him to bed. He had probably 15 cows with him. Went in the next morning, bugled. There he was. He stood up, and I shot him. And I haven't shot an elk since. I thought
This was in 85?
85, 86, and I decided elk were stupid, so I haven't hunted any anymore.
Guys, the freaking news came to our house. This was on the news because there was no. I mean, elk were so rare. This is legendary in my neighborhood. People would come over and you got to see their elk because he's got this bugle post.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, and our house was so small, it literally the whole damn room. But this is it. This is his bull.
Yeah. And this, can you see this? This is my moniker. Grandpa's Bite Yous, and that is Crocky. That's the perfect thing. When my kids were little, I'd hold them up there and put their hands in that mouth and tell them it's going to bite them. And they were all scared to death of. The friends wouldn't even go down the basement. They were scared to death of that elk.
So they call him bite chews.
Yeah,
all
bite
of our
chews.
bucks were called bite chews because my dad said if you touch them, they'll bite you. So the kids called them bite chews. all the animals, but that was Grandpa's.
All the animals were bite chews.
That's Grandpa's pig bull elk.
Yep. And when I killed that, it was
a big damn deal.
Yeah.
It really was. I'll post tons of cutaways. So let's go up and let's see the big dog.
Okay.
Big dog up in the house.
The one that my dad waited 74 years for.
Just about. But I'm going to draw it again this year. I'm going to get a bigger one.
Oh,
Look at that. How'd it turn out? Good, we're still going. Oh, yeah,
look at him hobble up the stairs. This guy used to climb mountains.
Yeah, tell me about it.
What's up, Mama?
Hi,
It's leg day.
making keto celery.
Yeah, the girl.
Yum.
Okay, so take him down because
I don't know if I can take him down by myself.
you want me to do it?
You want help?
He's just too big to be sitting up that high. I want you to be able to see his palmation.
Once we drop him.
Love that mount too.
Not really heavy, but.
So that's the buck he waited his whole lifetime for. And I've obviously posted the living hell out of it, so you guys have all seen it, but
Oops.
I gotta come around. Why don't you come over, Dad, and just put him on the corner of the couch so.
Okay.
That's him.
Yeah, there's a.
Why?
He's kind of a beast. He's got pretty good mass on him. Oops, there's some. Get rid of the dust on him.
So because of this guy, you won't shoot.
Yeah. I want a bigger one.
Good
Well, he's
luck.
looking to upgrade.
I want another upgrade.
So turn him so that this is in the window. I can't see the webbing without murdering
You
it
want my
out.
lights
Nope,
on?
that's good. You got a cute wife in there, and you got a big palmated muley. Two great
talk
things.
to my wife about dusting this. She's not doing a very good
Yeah.
job.
Slacking.
Talk to me and just see how far you get.
So break him down real quick. We'll talk about where you got him and a little bit about him.
I don't want to divulge any secrets. This is this is not a front buck. Now, this buck was Henry Mountains, muzzleloader 1983,
1983.
2013. Interesting year, but Zach talked me into booking with a guy. So I had David Roscoe with North Rim Outfitters help me out with this, and the whole crew. His whole crew was there, and it was an interesting hunt because this is one of the bucks we hadn't seen. At least I hadn't seen it. The other bucks that I'd seen earlier on were killed. Basically, one of my favorite bucks was killed by the sportsman's tag holder, and a couple other bucks were killed by bow hunters. But we hunted for 5 days. And on the 5th day, actually on the 4th day, my son found this buck just at dusk, and pretty sure it was the same buck, but he was a good buck going over a hill. And we went in the next morning, was able to get in on him and bring him down, and I shot him with my muzzleloader. But he is 36. He's got quite a bit of carry. He's kind of an interesting buck. He's got a good 4-point sight and a good non-typical sight.
Yeah, he's booked 4-point doubled or he's booked non-typical doubled.
Yeah, and so what he ended up going 216 gross. He's got stickers and character all
Turn him,
over
let
on
me
this
see
side.
that kicker on that right horn.
Got a bunch
Yeah.
of character on this side.
So freaking webbed.
He's got mass for days. He's he's got 44 inches on his mass measurements if you take them both sides.
Junk on his bases.
Big junk on his bases.
heavy bases.
Big heavy bases, and even on this side he's got 6. So he's 11 by 6 if you count all of the 1-inch points on him. So he's a stud.
You got a little article behind you you can show him?
Yeah, really crazy.
Oh, there's his muley crazy spread. I got to edit that article.
Yeah.
Such epic photos. I love the
great
pictures.
photos.
There's my brother with him. One of these. There he is right there.
Somebody was with me and then he bailed out to go.
So why weren't you there, Zach?
There's the kill shot.
He just had some crazy thing with an ibex.
Yeah, so this was 2013, and I had drawn the ibex tag for the second time. So I hunted with my dad and brother for 4 days, So anyways, I hunted with them, hoping to video and, you know, chronicle the whole thing. But then I went down to hunt ibex, and then they shot him the day after I left. But it's just a buck that, you know, my dad, I said it in the intro, my dad appreciates it, deserves it, hunted his whole life. And though it wasn't in our stomping grounds, it's just a buck that, like, I think every old school hunter deserves to kill a buck like that. So I was just humbled and grateful that we knocked one down.
Oh, yeah, it's a unicorn.
And when he passes on next year or two, I should get this in our trophy room.
Nick will, because Nick's the one that found him.
Yeah, but Nick's chill. He'll let us have it. Right?
Yeah.
I have a feeling Nick will have this deer.
I think my mom, I think Patty wants him.
Yeah, Mom will keep it even after you're gone. Just a freaking epic, legendary. Tilt his head down. That might be your Hitlist cover right there, brother. Pretty freaking cool, dude. It's about as badass as they come.
Yeah, it's a magic place, that's for sure.
Well, I sure appreciate you having you as part of the little social media experience we've been having, and it's been fun sharing it with you. I don't know about her so much.
Just got photobombed.
Get your arms off my girl. But no, man, I think that buck's badass, and you freaking deserve it.
I'm gonna get a bigger one.
I take back everything I said.
Yes, sir. Dad and Meth in the building. Yeah.